So right now we have some information related to the iPhone 17 Air. This iPhone 17 Air or Slim concept sounds fascinating, especially with the idea of a super thin design and a lower cost option compared to the iPhone 17 Pro and Pro Max. First, let's talk about the design and thickness. The iPhone 17 Air could be between 5 to 6 millimeters thick, which is dramatically thinner than the current iPhone 16 Pro Max, 8.25 millimeters. The idea of having a phone this thin would be groundbreaking, though it may sacrifice some durability compared to thicker models. Still, Apple's engineering should help mitigate concerns, especially with advances in materials like titanium and aluminum. Like the iPhone 6, the iPhone Air could feature a unibody chassis, which helps with sturdiness while maintaining a thin profile. Now we have some news related to the phone material. There's debate about whether it will be fully aluminum or a titanium-aluminum mix. Titanium would add strength, especially in such a thin device, so that seems more likely. And if we're talking about the display size, the iPhone 17 Air come with a 6.6-inch display, slightly smaller than the 6.7-inch iPhone 16 Plus. This size would still offer a good screen area without compromising the ultra-thin body. Now let's talk about the phone battery. With thinner chassis comes the challenge of battery size, so Apple would likely use next-gen battery tech, like silicon carbon, to keep power needs in check while ensuring it's not too bulky. Now let's talk about the phone chipset. The iPhone 17 Air come with the Apple A19 chip, which is the base model compared to the A19 Pro used in the Pro models. It might not be as powerful as the Pro variants, but should still deliver solid performance for most users. And the phone expected to have 8 gigabytes of RAM, which is still plenty for a majority of tasks, though not as much as the Pro model's 12 gigabytes. Now let's talk about the camera setup on the phone. We have only one camera module on the back in the iPhone 17 Air, and the phone camera have a 48 megapixel sensor from the iPhone 16/15, which is a big downgrade compared to the multiple lenses in the Pro models. While you lose the ultra-wide or telephoto lenses, the 2x crop from the main sensor will still provide decent versatility. Now let's talk about the front camera on the phone. The iPhone 17 Air come with a 24 megapixel front camera, is a great upgrade over the 12 MP in older models, making it a solid choice for selfies. Now let's talk about the display features. The iPhone 17 Air come with a ProMotion and an always-on display. These features would make the Air appealing, especially since they're typically reserved for Pro models. Now we have no physical SIM slot in the phone. That might be frustrating to some users, especially in regions where eSIM is not widely adopted yet. Now finally, let's talk about the price of the phone. The iPhone 17 Air is expected to cost around $950 to $999, positioning it between the iPhone 17 Plus and the Pro models. This is a smart move, especially since it's supposed to combine a thin form factor with decent specs, while still cutting costs in areas like the camera and RAM. So if you like my video, give a thumbs up and subscribe.